Welcome to the All-Star Race in the NASCAR Cup Series field. The All-Star Race, this is going to determine the winner. Go watch the Open first. Alright, you have watched the Open. Now up first is Kurt Busch in the GM Goodwrench Monster Car, and then Kevin Harvick. Here we go. Way to go, Kevin Harvick in that number 4. Kevin Harvick trying to have a great season like he did last season. It looked like his season possibly till that round of 12 elimination happened. Up next is Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, he missed the playoffs, so that Keselowski's Buffalo Tender cars made it. Elliott made it all the way to Championship 4, while Kyle Larson only made it to the round of 12. Here we go, Chase Elliott holds on to that spot. Not going to let that slip away. 6 rounds of this, by the way. Up next is Chase Briscoe, James Davison, Kyle Busch, Mark Truex Jr., Harrison Burton. Menards might be able to get a few more races for Harrison Burton this year. They said they want to sponsor him more often than this race. If you saw last season, he was mostly sponsored by Ford Motorcraft. Actually, he was always sponsored by Ford Motorcraft. U.S. Air Force was supposed to hop on with him, but didn't. James Davison and Briscoe's going to get further because of that. These are the first couple of races for Season 2. So you're in Season 2 right now watching this. Up next is Joey Logano, Matt Benedetto, Daniel Suarez, Sam Mayer, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson almost got himself a championship. This is his last season with that 81 team. Unless he re-signs with JRM. But people are saying, but he might not. He may, we don't know. We do know Sam Mayer re-signed with Richard Petty. Here we go. It looks, Logano crashes out. Hill All-Star hopes will be done as the Benedetto continues. Up next is Haley Deegan, Mason Massey. Now here are the ones that made it into the Open. Corey LaJoie, Sheldon Creed, Justin Haley, Furniture Row. Got 2 of their 3 cars in. Awesome job by Furniture Row. Awesome job. Furniture Row had right there to do that. Here we go. Way to go, Sheldon Creed in the 2. Or the 26, I'm sorry. Sheldon Creed making his very first Cup start later in the season. Next, the final one to determine who will be part of that 6. Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, James Davison, Matt Benedetto, Sheldon Creed. Sheldon Creed, in his first ever All-Star attempt, got to learn the track. The Open is very good, especially when you win, because you're going to have an advantage from everybody else in the Open, because you have that experience. Way to go, Chase Elliott! Sheldon Creed goes up and over, ending his All-Star hopes as well, as Chase Elliott will be one of the 6 that they're going to have to fight for. That's going to be very entertaining, to say the least. And we know the All-Star race has not really been entertaining, but with these names thrown in here, these guys, they're going to know what to do. Up first, Matt Benedetto, James Davison, Kevin Harvick, and Corey LaJoie. The 7 and the 77 are destined to win races this season. Furniture Road didn't win one race. Not one race last season they won. They weren't, well, one of their cars were very inconsistent last season, but this season they have consistency. Way to go, Matt Benedetto, holding off James Davidson. James Davidson got his first Cup win last season. Up next is Mason Massey, Haley Deegan, Justin Haley, Daniel Suarez. Daniel Suarez does not have that consistent speed. He made it to the championship 4 with only on 2 wins. Same did Massey. Johnson made it with 1 win, but Elliott made it with 4 before. Way to go, Justin Haley. A little contact. But nobody's day ends. Nobody's All-Star hopes, at least. Up next, Sam Mayer, Jimmy Johnson, Harrison Burton, Chase Briscoe, Mark Truex Jr. You can see, if you've noticed throughout the race, some of the cars are doing all-star race design. Very entertaining. You see those numbers slid back. No matter if you're Truex or anyone out there. Jimmy Johnson and Harrison Burton edges out Chase Briscoe and Truex. That's going to end his playoff hopes. He didn't make the playoffs last season either, but he's in here because he's a veteran. Up next is Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch. Kyle Larson won the first race last season, but did nothing since. Very inconsistent in the round of 16. Made it on luck. Round of 12, that luck went away. Here we go. Way to go, Brad Keselowski. Hamlin gets the nod, and he blocked Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch crashes out. Ending his hopes right there. Up next, Matt Benedetto, Justin Haley, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski. Keselowski, he had no consistency whatsoever last season. He's in that 6 car now, but he has no consistency whatsoever, so that's going to be a little shocking. Here we go! Way to go! Hey, the Benedetto. I'm sorry, I almost said Haley. The Benedetto. Haley's also from the Open, so don't forget that, guys. Alright, we are now into the 3rd round. We're in round 3. Who's going to be the ultimate winner in this round? That is the question. Up next, Justin Haley, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson. Justin Haley's been kind of the fastest car, but Keselowski, he almost had that one. Denny Hamlin, we saw what he did with Kurt Busch. He put the block on him. See what he could do this time. Way to go, Jimmy Johnson, a little nudge. Right there to nudge Haley out of the way. Up next, Kurt Busch, Harrison Burton, Chase Briscoe, Sam Mayer, Daniel Suarez. Sam Mayer has re-signed with Richard Petty Motorsports for these next 2 seasons, this season and next season. And it depends on how consistent he is. If he's consistent, they'll keep him. But if they're not consistent, something's going to happen. And there we go. Chase Briscoe, Suarez slams right there. So that's going to end Suarez's hopes. But that's not going to end Chase Briscoe's hopes. Up next, Haley Deegan, Mason Massey, James Davidson, Kevin Harvick, Corey LaJoie. Corey LaJoie made it through in the open race. Yeah, we saw how LaJoie did that. As sunlight will be fading away sometime in round 4. Here we go! Way to go, Kevin Harvick! And LaJoie's going to edge out Hailie Deegan. Up next is Jimmie Johnson, Chase Briscoe, Kevin Harvick. Now these three, they all won a race last season. Harvick had 2 wins, Briscoe and Johnson had 1 win, but Johnson did the unthinkable and made it to the championship 4 on 1 win. Way to go, Jimmie Johnson, as Briscoe crashes into him, getting his hopes there as we enter the next round. We are in round 4 now. So the winners have been Chase Elliott, Matt Benedetto, and Jimmie Johnson. Now everybody in the All-Star race except for LaJoie, Creed, and Haley won a race last season. Maybe we could see someone out of the blue win. Kevin Harvick, James Davidson. Here we go. Way to go by Kevin Harvick to hold off that 15th. Up next, Mason Massey, Corey LaJoie, Hailie Deegan, Harrison Burton, Sam Mayer. We see how Harrison Burton does that. Harrison Burton trying to do something. He accomplished a win, but an early round of 16 elimination. Penske, 2 out of 3 Penske cars that made it actually had a round of 16 elimination. Here we go. Way to go, Harrison Burton. And again, Deegan this time is going to edge out LaJoie. Up next is Kurt Busch, Justin Haley, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson. Kurt Busch has Goodwrench and Monster on the front. On that car for the entire season. That's the paint scheme he's going to have for the majority of the season until we get to certain races. We'll be running a different paint scheme. It's not going to be a monster car, though. Here we go. Brad Keselowski comes in with the clutch. Denny Hamlin, we've seen how aggressive he can get with that blocking and shut the door on Larson. Up next, Kevin Harvick, Harrison Burton, and Brad Keselowski. Keselowski, yeah, he didn't win a race last season. Don't forget that. He didn't win a race last season. Harrison Burton and Keselowski makes a horrible wreck. Keselowski went off wrong, and that's going to end his hopes. And now we are in the 5th round, and then the 6th round. The 5th round, and then the 6th round. And then the 6 that have won will be in. Up first, Kevin Harvick, Justin Haley, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch. Yeah, so we've seen how consistent that 77 can be. And the 7. The 7's still in this race. Creed's the only one that's been kind of crashed out of this race, really. So here we go. Justin Haley and Larson notches up to 2nd. Good job by Kyle Larson in that 5 car. Up next is Hailie Deegan, Corey LaJoie, Mason Massey, Sam Mayer, James Davidson. So Larson, he stepped up the gas like that was going to be the last one. If Haley wins this, he might not have a threat to worry about, maybe. Maybe. Keyword maybe. Here we go. Mark gets to go. Way to go, James Davidson. LaJoy notches up to second. Deegan down to third. Feels like them two have been battling. Next, Justin Haley, James Davidson. Here we go. Well, Justin Haley. Haley, he's from the Open, as well as Creed and his teammate, Corey LaJoy. So this one might be interesting. Up next, James Davidson, Corey LaJoy, Haley Deegan, Mason Massey. Mason Massey's quietly been there, as we are now in the 6th round. This is everybody's last chance to go with the best of the 6. Here we go. Way to go, Haley Deegan, with that rocket power. Man, and you saw LaJoy almost made it. Last up. Sam Mayer, Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch. He's a veteran. There's only one veteran in that match, and that's Johnson. He got one win last season. He's had that consistency enough. He's been consistent enough. There we go. Kyle Larson in that 5 car. Up next, Haley Deegan, Kyle Larson. Here we go. Way to go, Haley Deegan. Alright, we're nearing towards the end of it. Chase Elliott, Matthew Benedetto, Jimmy Johnson, Harrison Burton, Justin Haley, Haley Deegan. Here's how this works. 6 laps. 6 laps will determine it all. That's how that works. 6 laps determine it all for you. Laps. Who leads is a question for everybody. There we go! Way to go! Haley beat Matthew Benedetto, I'm sorry. Chase Elliott kind of spun. As I was saying, Chase Elliott kind of spun out. I don't know if y'all saw that, but man, talk about getting piled up right there. Chase Elliott got last place. Matthew Benedetto was the one that managed to lead that lap, actually. Chase Elliott last place. And Haley Deegan came fifth, but Elliott kind of teamed. Here we go, Mark. There we go, Jimmy Johnson. Gonna lead that lap, and the Benedetto misses out. Discount Tire has a kind of cross with Cindric and Benedetto. Todd Gilliland did not manage to get a ride. He says he's going to get that 36 car next season when that comes available. This is David Reagan's last season. He could go to JRM with Jimmy Johnson if he doesn't, with Junior Motorsports, if Johnson doesn't resign. But Todd Gilliland didn't show much last season in that 33 car. Here we go, Mark. Oh, wow! Johnson crashes out right there, and that's going to take Johnson out. Jimmy Johnson out of the race. Right there, we saw Elliott crash down earlier, but man, let's fix his car. And that is lap number 4, 5, and then 6. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Harrison Burton leads that lap. And they crushed Matthew Benedetto to that wall. They pinned him. He'll be out. Fifth lap. This one's going to be interesting. Way to go, Hailie Deegan. Hailie Deegan, she won 2 races last season. Not a disappointment at all for Hailie Deegan. Here we go. Chase Elliott is going to win the All-Star race. Chase Elliott wins the All-Star race. He says, we were supposed to be champion last season. Chase Elliott says, we were supposed to be champion last season. Well, no. Mr. Elliott, you're an All-Star winner. Hope all of you enjoyed the All-Star race. This is the beginning of Season 2.